The hum of the hyperspace drive faded, replaced by the jarring lurch of a starship emerging into real space, alarms blaring. A young woman, her hair coiled in distinctive buns, clutched a small data tape, her face etched with a desperate resolve. She knew the risks, the impossibility of her task, yet there was no hesitation. Her adoptive father, Senator Bail Organa, had given her this mission, a plea to a ghost, a beacon of hope long thought extinguished. Find Obi-Wan Kenobi. The name itself was a whisper of a bygone era, a relic of a time when the galaxy made sense. But Bail Organa knew better. He knew that if anyone could ignite the faltering flame of rebellion, it would be the steadfast Jedi Master with whom he had shared so much. Not just battles, but beliefs and an unbreakable bond of trust. To understand the profound trust that allowed such a desperate mission to be conceived, we must journey back to the crucible of the Clone Wars. It was amidst the chaos and bloodshed of that galaxy-spanning conflict that the foundations of a truly extraordinary alliance were laid between two very different men. Obi-Wan Kenobi, the wise and principled Jedi General, and Bail Organa, the astute and honorable Senator from Alderaan. Their interactions weren't limited to the sterile environments of Republic command centers or the grand halls of the Coruscant Senate. They fought together, planned together, and perhaps most importantly, they believed together. Imagine countless strategy sessions where Obi-Wan, calm and logical, would lay out the tactical imperatives, while Bail, ever the diplomat and humanitarian, would weigh the political and civilian costs. They weren't just colleagues, they were co-conspirators in the pursuit of justice, united by an unwavering commitment to the ideals of the Republic. Obi-Wan saw in Bail not just a politician, but a man of deep integrity, someone who genuinely cared for the welfare of the common citizen, who never wavered in his moral compass. Bail, in turn, recognized in Kenobi a Jedi who embodied the very best of the Order. Compassionate, honorable, and fiercely loyal not just to the Jedi, but to the principles of peace and democracy. Their discussions often extended beyond the immediate crisis, touching upon the very soul of the Republic, its vulnerabilities and its enduring strengths. This shared vision, forged in the fires of conflict, created a bond that transcended mere professional courtesy. It was a profound mutual respect, a quiet understanding of each other's character. Then came the unimaginable, the sudden, brutal execution of Order 66, the rise of the Empire, and the systematic decimation of everything they had fought for. The galaxy was plunged into darkness, and the institutions they had served so faithfully crumbled around them. In the immediate aftermath of this cataclysm, it was Bail Organa who demonstrated the strength of this bond most profoundly. When the lives of the Skywalker twins, the last hope, rested in the balance, it was Bail to whom Obi-Wan instinctively turned. Consider that moment, the universe collapsing, the Jedi Order shattered, and a desperate Kenobi, holding two innocent infants, entrusts one of them, Leia, to Bail and his wife, Queen Breha. This was not a decision made lightly. It was a testament to the absolute, unshakable faith Kenobi had in the Organas. He knew, without a shadow of a doubt, that they would raise Leia with love, integrity, and the very ideals he and Bail had fought to preserve. It was an unspoken vow, a transfer of hope from a fallen order to a noble family. For Obi-Wan, the years of exile on Tatooine were a heavy burden. He watched over Luke, a silent guardian in the twin suns, his existence a stark contrast to the vibrant life he once led. He had cut himself off from the galaxy, from the fight, for the greater purpose of preserving the last vestiges of the Jedi legacy. Yet, even in this isolation, the threads of his bond with Bail Organa remained unbroken, perhaps even strengthened by the shared secret, the shared burden of hope. Decades passed, the Empire tightened its grip, but the seeds of resistance, quietly sown by individuals like Bail Organa, began to sprout. And then the moment came that would reignite the old flame. A desperate plan, a stolen set of schematics, and the most audacious mission, sending his own daughter, Leia, a princess and a senator in her own right, to find a hermit on a forgotten desert planet. This act, more than any other, speaks to the depth of Bail's faith. He knew the immense danger. He knew the slim odds, but he also knew Kenobi. He knew that the Obi-Wan he remembered, the honorable, steadfast Jedi Master, was the one person who could turn the tide. He wasn't sending her to a legend, he was sending her to a trusted friend, a man with whom he had faced the abyss. And Obi-Wan's response? It wasn't simply a call to save a princess, or even to aid the budding rebellion. It was the desperate plea of Bail Organa echoing through the message that truly drew him out of his long exile. It was the loyalty forged in the Clone Wars, the shared sorrow of the Republic's fall, and the silent promise made over 2 infants that compelled him to act. The trust was reciprocal. Obi-Wan's loyalty to Bail, his understanding of the immense risk Bail was undertaking, was the very spark that pulled him back into the fight. He left the sands of Tatooine not just for Luke, but for the ideals that Bail Organa still championed, for the friendship that transcended years and distance. Their alliance, forged in conflict and cemented by shared sacrifice, became the bedrock upon which the nascent rebellion could truly stand. Bail's unwavering trust in Kenobi and Kenobi's steadfast loyalty to Bail were not merely personal sentiments, they were the very forces that ignited the spark of rebellion into a blazing fire. The story of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Bail Organa is more than just a footnote in galactic history. It's a profound testament to the power of trust, friendship, and shared ideals. Their bond, resilient through the darkest of times, reminds us that even when all seems lost, the connections we forge with those who share our values can become the most powerful catalysts for change. It was a bond that saved 2 children, preserved a legacy, and ultimately helped to restore hope to a galaxy shrouded in darkness. What are your thoughts on this powerful alliance? Do you have a favorite moment that exemplifies their trust? Share your reflections in the comments below. And if you found this exploration thought-provoking, consider subscribing or following for more stories from a galaxy far, far away, where the quiet acts of loyalty often hold the greatest power.